Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam. All
Hare Krishna, Arjuna Sakam Prabhu. Dandavat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat Pranam.
Welcome all for the Nityan Bhagavata Seva classes. Today we'll have His Grace Arjuna Sakam Prabhu will be sharing the nectar with us from the chapter Activities of Prachitas, Shloka number 43, 4th canto, 30th chapter, Shloka number. Over to you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Prabhu, do you want me to share the shloka on the screen?
Yeah, Prabhu, that will be great.
I do, Prabhu. You can continue the praise.
Okay, Prabhu. And you have the purport also, Prabhu?
Everything I'll share, Prabhuji. I'll share.
Yeah, Prabhu. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam. Devi Saraswati Vyasam Tado Jayat Mudurayet. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangulangayate Girim. Jatkrupatamaham Bande Sri Guru Dinatarine. Shunyatam Sakatha Krishna Punya Sravana Kirtana. Hrudayantasto Bhadrani Vibhunoti Sahusrutam. Nashtaprayeshu Bhadresu Nityam Bhagavata Shevaya. Bhagavati Uttama Shlokir Bhaktir Bhavati Nastiki. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, I offer my obeisance to all of you. Dandavat Pranam. And today we are going to discuss on Canto 4, Chapter 30, verse number 43, as Prabhuji mentioned and also said. So Maitreya Uvacha, this is after the prayer from Prachetas to the Lord. And thereafter Maitreya, after the Lord departed, and now Maitreya Muni says, Maitreya Uvacha. Iti prachita abhistuta hari priti tatha iti aha saranyavashala anichchatam yaman atruptya chakshusham jayo shadhaman apavargavirya. Maitreya Uvacha. Iti prachita abhistita hari priti tatha iti aha saranyavashala anichchatam yavan atrupta chakshusham yayo sadhaman pavargavirya. Any Mataji, Prabhuji would like to recite, please.
Maitreya Uvacha iti prachetopi rabishtuto harihi pritastatetyaha saranyavascha anischatam yanamatrupta chakshusham yayau swadhamana pavargavirya. Hare Krishna.
Any Prabhuji would like to recite, or Mataji? Anybody else?
Prabhuji, can I recite? Is it okay?
Yeah, Prabhuji. Yes, Prabhuji.
Maitreya Uvacha iti pracheto abhishtuto harihi pritastateka sharanyavatsalaha anichchatam yanamatrupta chakshusham yayo sudhama pavargaviryaha.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhu. So this is the last verse, last but one verse of this chapter, the Pracheta's story. This is the wonderful chapter of Prachetas that we have been releasing the nectar of Prachetas, and particularly the Rudra Geet, the discussion, the prayer of Prachetas to the Lord. And finally, this is the concluding, we're concluding with this point. So what, after Lord departed, what is the condition of this? What is the essence that we'll be reading this particular two verses? So let's read to the purport and translation. The great says, Maitreya continued, my dear Vidura, the supreme personality of Godhead, who is the protector of the surrendered soul, being thus addressed by the Prachetas and worshipped by them, replied, may whatever you have prayed for be fulfilled. After saying this, the supreme personality of Godhead, whose power prowess is never defeated left. The Prachetas were unwilling to be separated from him because they had not seen him to their full satisfaction. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhu, your screen is not visible. There is, I think, let me read it from here. The word anapabarga virya is significant in this verse. The word ana means without. Pabarga means the materialistic way of life. And the virya means the prowess. The prowess of the Supreme Personality of God had always contained 6 basic affluences, one of which is renunciation. Although the Prachetas desired to see the Lord to their full satisfaction, the Lord left. According to Srila Jiva Goswami, this is an exhibition of his kindness to the innumerable other devotees. Although he was being attracted by Prachetas, he left. This is an example of his renunciation. This renunciation was also exhibited by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he stayed with Advaita Prabhu after taking sannyasa. All the devotees there wanted him to stay for a few days longer, but Lord Chaitanya left without hesitation. The conclusion is that although the Supreme Lord has unlimited kindness for his devotees, he is not attached to anyone. He is equally kind to his innumerable devotees all over the creation. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakyurunmilitam Jenam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaiham Nadati Shapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Jutapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanshamsha Sri Rupam Shagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatham Nidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Shahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakha Nitansa. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhishya Kripa Sindhuvaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivashadi Gaur Bhakta Brinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So this is the wonderful topic that we discussed and we have been discussing for a long time. This is the story of Prachetas and how they got benedicted and blessed by Lord Shiva as well the Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. So here the point in this particular verse, Maitreya Muni says, and one very important point here is Anapabarga Virya Sabda. This is the word very important. Why so? This material world, particularly where we are staying, this is full of miseries. Whether you climb to any ladder at any level, but still the anxiety will always be there. Sada samudbhignam dhyayat asadgrihat. Prahlad Maharaj says, Sada samudbhignam dhyayat asadgrihat. Because we are beholding the temporary as well as untruthful thing. That's why we are always in the mode of anxiety. And because we don't understand the reality of life, we are not established in the reality. That's what happens. We're always leading life in Poburga. Let's understand what is Poburga. Poburga, there is 5 elements in this Poburga. The 5 words, the letter of this Poburga is Pa, Fa, Ba, Va, Ma. And there's a distinctive synonyms of this. What is Pa? Pa means Parishram, hard work. In Sanskrit, it is Parishram, that means hard work. Chista. We're endeavoring lots and lots of efforts, putting lots of efforts in acquiring material wealth. Get the material gain, fame, everything that we all are hankering after this. And that's why starting from a human being, all human beings are literally running after that. And because of that, what happens? Because of this parishram, excessive hard work, the foam comes out of the mouth when we are going to sleep. And that is the second point, that is called Poburga. Poburga, first letter is Pa, Parishram, the hard work. Fa, the second letter Fa means the foam, the fena, the foam. We're sleeping out of the tiredness, you go to sleep and you open your mouth and all the fena will be coming out from the mouth. Because of excessive efforts, your body cannot tolerate it. And you are just pushing and pushing and pushing hard every day and night. That is the problem. And third, what is that? Ba. Ba is the cause. These are all the causes of attachment. Bandhan. Ba stands for bandhan. Cause of attachment. And Lord Krishna says, and he's always been, most of the Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, if you look at, and he's always advised us to take care of this bandhan. Raga dvesha vimukteshu. Raga, the attachment. And even nirmana moha jita sanga dosha, adhyatma nitya vinibhrutta kama. And asanga sastrena drudhena chinda. This bandhan, this is the third point, ba for bandhan. That is attachment, excessive bandhan. We're not binded by any kind of rope. We're not binded by any kind of the chain, but we are bounded by what? We're bounded by the attachment. Attachment with the self, the body, attachment with mind, attachment with the family, attachment with all our desires. This is the cause of all kind of problem. Third, this is Ba. Bha means Bhaya. This is one of the very biggest problem of life, Bha. And because of the Bhaya, Samudvignam is coming. Bhaya, anxiety, anxiety is the result, outcome of the Bhaya. Bha stands for Bhaya. And what do you mean by Bhaya? The biggest Bhaya is death. If you look at the society, most of the people, most of human beings, they are afraid of death. And along with the afraid of death, there is another Bhaya, that's fear, is fear of losing your fame and name. Fear of missing out. Now it is new fear come. Every moment we are going and just our attention span come down because of the FOMO, fear of missing out, FOMO. This is a new fear. Every second, our mind is moving towards our WhatsApp and message. That is called fear of missing out. If I missed any message, if I missed any WhatsApp message, if I missed anything important, my friend has sent, my distant relative has sent, some videos might have sent that will be related to me. So this kind of fear of missing out is a new fear. But overall, what we are talking about, the attachment leads to fear. Particularly, what if I die? What will happen to my family? What will happen to my family members if I die? This is the biggest fear that we all have. And finally, out of that fear, we are dying every day. But end of the day, our body will die. That leads to mrityu. Pa, fa, ba, va, ma. Pa stands for the parishram, the hard work. Fa stands for the feina, that is the foam. Ba stands for the bandhan, that is for attachment. Va stands for the vaya, that is fear. And ultimately that leads to mrityu. Mrityu sarvahara. Lord says, I am the death. I am the death. And definitely you are meeting somebody every day, will be meeting. Someday we'll be meeting. Krishna will meet us. We'll meet definitely with Krishna. That is in the form of mrityu. So this is the condition of all the living being. And it is not unknown to all. It is known to everybody that one day we'll be dying. And I'm putting unnecessary hard work. And this is why knowing all this also, we're still living each and every moment as a human being, we're living in this same moment. We are always in the fear. We know about death. Still, we don't prepare for the death. We always know attachment is very, very painful things, and that is not helping us. Still, we are we are bringing more attachment in our life. And this is what and that's what bringing lots of problem in our life. Because of what? Because of we are not associated with the scripture, the advice of the Lord, the message of the Lord. We are not connected with the Lord. But here what happens that we need to understand the Krishna is anapavarga, is totally away from this pavarga. Apavarga. He's totally never been contaminated with this pavarga. We are contaminated, but he never been contaminated with pavarga. Because he's never this anything in this material universe can never touch Krishna. Purna Nitya Suddha Mukta. This is the constitutional position of Lord himself. So what is Virya, the power, the energy of the Lord is transcendental from this metal energy. So this is very important points of Apavarga, Krishna. And finally, what again he says, there is one very important word is Saranyavashala. Saranyavashala. Now the Prachitas, now with the prayer, after listening the prayer, he blessed with whatever you are thinking will be fulfilled. God is so, the word Bashal is very powerful. And we can feel it when you read Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And we can see each and every chapter there is something related to Bashal. Bashal is the love out of compassion, the unadulterated love of the Lord that is called Bashal. Why Bashal? Bashal is coming from the Basha, that is the calf of the cow. The way the calf is loved by mother cow, the Lord himself, though it is a comparative, but still the love is more powerful than the calf and cow. But here still it is a representation of the love that we understand. So what happens? Krishna is Bhakta Bashal, Sarana Bashal. And this was very beautifully been recited by he's the ultimate protector, his ultimate benedictor of human being, all the being. That's why, and particularly Saranya Bashal. What is Saranya Bashal means? Those who have taken shelter on the lotus feet of the Lord. Saranya Bashal. And he's very, very dear. And he protect the Bashal, protect the person who is surrendered to him. And it is very example, the gopis, they recite this particular points in a very beautiful way in Gopi Geet. And they say that they glorify Lord in this poem. That means how he always kept, how he is so benedicted, blessed, his association is blissful. And that was protecting from everything. Visajala payat vyala rakhyashat varasha marutad vaidhute nalat visama atmaja vishwato bhayat. All kind of fear. He protected from every fear. What are the example? Visajala payat vyala rakhyasat. Many lots of demons used to come to Vrindavan. And we could, from Srimad Bhagavatam, we can see that a good number of Vaghasur, Bakasur, some Sakatasur, some Asur come. But these are very, very prominent Asur. But along with this prominent Asuras also, there are some small Asuras. Each and every moment they used to attack Brajvasis. And what Gopijan says, Bisajala Payat, Vyala Rakhyashat, Barasha Marutat means from heavy rain and wind. You all know how Krishna uplifted the Govardhan and protected this Vrindavan Basi, Brajbasi. And Brajbasi is now saying, Gopijan, that they're expressing their gratitude by saying, you protected us in many ways. Vishajala Payat, Vyala Rakhyashat. And also, you drank this, the fire to protect us. Barasha Marutat, Vyadutenala. Analat means you drank the fire. Vishama Atmaja. This is a very important point. Vishama Atmaja. Vishyato Bhaya. And you not only protected from the external force, but you protected us from where? From the Atmajat means the impurity that is generating from the Atma, from the self. You protected that from us also. Protected us from that also. Atmajat. Whatever impurities or maybe contaminated words or maybe in this form of anything that is coming contaminated, you're also protecting us from that as well. That means Krishna is so merciful that he's not only protecting the Brajavasi from the external force, from the demon, from all kind of miseries, but also he's protecting from deep inside. Sarvasya chaham hridisannhi Vishnu. So residing in the heart also, he's protecting everybody. And not only that, they also recite another thing, and protecting us from our own self-generated miseries, self-generated atmaja, and all kind of miseries that is vishyato bhayat, and all kind of fear that is coming out from this world, the material world particularly. And what are the miseries coming out from the material world? This three tapa, we call it three tapa. Adi Daivik, Adi Bhautik, Adi Adhyatmik tapa. He is protecting us from that. And not only they stopped here, they further glorify Krishna by saying, Braja Jano Kasham Veera Yoshitam. You are the power of the Brajvasis. And what do you do? You are the power, you are the protector of Brajavasi. Braja Jano Kasham Veera Yoshitam. And this is very beautiful. Nija Janas Smayam Dhansana Smita. And with your wonderful smita, that means the beautiful that you smile, what do you do? With that smile, what do you do? You kill the swayam, the ahankar of this Nijajana. Nijajans means the Saranagat, the devotees, those who are closer to you, nearer to you, dearer to you, to whom you love. Nijajana. Nija means what? Nija means your own, right? Nija means your own. What you are doing? What Krishna does? Krishna kills the swayam. Dhansa means this completely demolish, eliminate. The swayam means ahang, because we are all getting victimized because of our ahang. And what Krishna does? Krishna eliminate the ahang of the person he loves. Nija jana smayam dhansana smita. And when you look at the Vashalta in Bhagavad Gita, what wonderful verses he has recited. What many verses coming out from Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Example we can see, there is plenty. Just to recite few, I just wanted to highlight those. When you talk about the Vashalta, that is the loving, the mercy of the Lord, what he says. He says, I'm everywhere. I'm everywhere and everything comes from me. And his Sama also is equal to everybody. But devotees got a very special positions in Krishna's heart. And what he does for the devotees, he has recited many verses. Tesam satata juktanam bhajatam pritipurvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam edamam upayantate. I provide the buddhi yoga. Buddhi is not sufficient. But Buddhi Yoga is important. Tadami Buddhi Yogam tam enamam upayantute. Not only that, in a minute. Now in the next verse it says, Tesamaham anukampartham. Anukampa is merciful, being very, very, very compassionate. Being very compassionate to connected devotee. What it does? Tesamaham anukampartham aham ajnanajam tamam. Nasasmi nasyasmi cha aham partha jnanadipena bhashyate. Going deep inside the heart, I eliminate all the darkness that is coming in the form of ignorance, and by doing what? By enlightening with knowledge. The Atma Gyan. Who can be so merciful than Krishna? Can anybody come to your heart, deep inside, go deep inside your heart and enlighten you? No. It is only Krishna and Guru. And Krishna and his representative, the Guru, they can do that. Not only that, Teshamaham samudharta mrityu sansara shagarat bhavami nachirat parthamai aveshita chetasha. And for whom is very dearer to me, what I do? I come and take him away from this metal world. I come by myself. Samudharta mrityu sansara shagarat. And I don't delay in this process. Somebody might be thinking, might be taking millions of years, millions of births. I may have to come back again and again and again, then Krishna will be merciful. No. Krishna says, what he says? Bhavami nachirat part. I'll never delay it. The moment you surrender, I never delay it. But the condition is, it should be Nijijan, as gopis they mentioned. Nijajanashmayam. Similarly, we need to put our endeavor to become a dearer to Krishna, to become a Nijijan. And for Nijijan, Krishna says, no more effort. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do much effort on that. Satatam kirtayanto mam jatantasya dridhabrata. That's all. You need to be determined. You need to be committed for this association. Manmana bhavamat bhakto mazzazi mam namaskuru. Maya vishyasi nit satyam te pratijani priyoshime. You need to do that much only. And if you're doing so, that means all the bashalta, all the benediction, all the compassion, everything is flowing from Krishna, from deep within, because the Krishna, deep inside the heart, in our heart, manifested and good needful. Krishna is not far away. Krishna is very nearer to us. The only question is, are we living in this Pauvarga, or we are transcending beyond Pauvarga? That is most important points. Now the points comes here. They had a darshan. You just imagine how beautiful it would have been. The prachetas, all the 10 prachetas, brothers standing there, they had a wonderful darshan of Krishna. They prayed. Krishna became very pleased. Lord became pleased with them, and they blessed with them. Whatever you are thinking, all your wishes will be fulfilled. Now immediately Krishna left. Just to close your eyes and think how this scene would be, how loving what kind of this bliss they might have experienced it. And the moment left, Krishna left, Lord left, what happened? They could not feel satisfied. They never get satisfied. And Prabhupada has mentioned about he has related this, the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left Nadia after taking sannyasa and left for where? Left for Jagannath Puri. How the devotees of the Lord in Mayapur, they felt so. Never satisfied. And that is a very obvious point. And in Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami mentioned in Srimad in Chaitanya Charitamrita, he says, Ananta Krishner Lila na jai varnan. Ananta Krishner Lila na jai varnan. Apene varnita jadi sahasrabadam. The glories of Lord Krishna can never be described like this. Ananta Krishna. He is Ananta. That means unlimited. There's unlimited glories of the Lord. It can never be easily described. It can never be recited. Never be. We cannot. You cannot feel fulfilled in reciting His glories. Right? Apena Barnana Jadi Sahasrabhadan. If Krishna recite Himself by Himself, His glory by Himself, with what? Sahasrabhadana. By manifesting in thousands of mouth, if He can describe, then only He can do. He may do it. Right? So it is very, very important to understand the glories of the Lord, what He releases. The devotee releases this nectar. And when you look at the Narad Muni's blessings to Srimad Bhagavatam while he was instructing Vyasadeva, he says, what is the quality of the devotee? The quality of devotees, they never, never, never get satisfied by chanting and glorifying the Lord. And there is no difference between the chanting and having a darshan, or maybe glorifying Lord and having darshan. And glorification, chanting and darshan of Lord is all in the same platform. Avinnatva nama namina, because Krishna personified Krishna himself, and the Krishna in the form of name and Krishna in the form of glory, that are all non-different. That's why when we are, the lots of nectar comes out from the deep inside, from the heart, when you are glorifying the Lord, when you are listening to Srimad Bhagavatam, when you are reciting Srimad Bhagavatam, because of this particular potency that Krishna has exhibited in this Srimad Bhagavatam and in His name. That's why devotees keep on releasing this nectar time and again, time and again, time and again, and never, never, never get satisfied. And this is this condition of the prachitas, never get anichyatam, atrupta chakhyusham. Atrupta chakhyusham. Atrupta means never get satisfied. Because chakhyusha means when they look Krishna in their own eyes, and they never get satisfied. But we're also blessed, equally blessed, because we don't see Krishna in our eyes, but we can see Krishna in our ear, through our ears. Because Pivanti Karna Chakyusha, this is described, Pivanti Karna Chakyusha. You can drink through Karna, through your ears. Pasyanti Karna Chakyusha. You can see Krishna through your ears. Pasyanti means looking. Looking Krishna, or you can have darshan of Krishna through your ear. Pasyanti Karna Chakyusha. Your Karna works as the Chakyu, that means in the eye, and you can see Krishna through your ears. Your ear works like your eyes, and you can see Krishna through your eyes. Pasyanti Karna Chakyusha. Pivanti, Pasyanti, through your ear, that you can do that. And we are so merciful from the blessings by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. We could understand, we could release as the nectar of Krishna. And what is the position? The position of prachitas is they never get satisfied. They're not said. Anichanto means anichitam. They were not interested. They were not. They never desired to be separated from the Lord. They never desired to be separated from the Lord. But anyhow, Lord immediately left this place. And it was not a desirable, it was not a happy moment for them. That's why anichyatam. Anichyatam means though it was not interested, they were not interested for that. Though it was not out of their desire. So, but still it was, the darshan was very powerful, but somehow it was not satisfactory. They wanted to see more and more to Krishna. But Krishna was has got a quality of Krishna. Now it is described, Maitreya Muni describing about one of the biggest quality of Krishna. Sadashyara Purnamiham Bhagavan Sayam Mayam Sa Krishna Chaitanya Jagadi Paratatta Paramiham. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami glorifies Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Jadveta Brahma Upanishadi Tadapashyata Nubha Sa Antaryami Purushaiti Sa Ansa Vaibhava. Sadashcharya Purnamiham Bhagavan Sa Swayam Mayam Sa Krishna Chaitanya Jagadi Paratattva Paramiham. Sadashcharya Purnam. There are 6 opulences of the Lord. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami again recited about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sad Ashcharya Purnamiham. You are completely full with all 6 opulences. Ascharjasya Samagrasya Bijjasya Jasasasriya. And all the 6 opulences, you are complete with all the 6 opulences. And there is no difference between Krishna and Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya. And out of the 6, one opulence is the renunciation. And because Krishna is Bhakta Vaschala, Saranya Vaschalya, but still, because of the renunciation potency, he immediately never get detached, never get attached with anyone. But he is merciful. Along with the mercy, he is also non-detached. This is completely contradictory to the material world, right? We cannot think about, imagine. We love deeply somebody and we are detached. Can you think about your love deeply with your family, but you are still detached? No. The moment our love is like this. The moment we are attached, then only our love starts. But here Krishna says, completely detached. Along with the detachment, he also has got the compassion for the devotees. Saranya Vatshalya. And what to glorify a Lord about it, what to describe about the renunciation. 1 example, 2 examples, thousands and thousands of examples. What happens? You see, we can see how he was so deeply attached, deeply in love with the gopis. Mother Jasoda, Nanda Baba, the love was so powerful love, attachment. But what happens? The moment Akrur came, immediately it took him away, and after there is no return back. Though Krishna in spiritual form, he was always available that, but in material condition that if you can look at, he never came back. Though he wanted to come back, but he never came back. Jarasandha started attacking Mathura. 17 times he came. And overnight, he shifted his entire kingdom from Mathura to Dwarka. The moment he killed Kamsa, he was supposed to be the king of Mathura, he's entitled for, and he was offered also. He was offered the kingdom. But what he says, no, I'm not entitled for. The moment he left for Dwarka, leaving Vrindavan, he established all these wonderful palaces, all palatial palaces, everything is so well arranged. And he has wonderful families, huge family. But the moment they were fighting with each other, no attachment. He sent everybody to the Golak Vrindavan and Vaikuntha, respectively, without attachment. There are so many examples that we have of Krishna renunciating. And this is through which he teaches us. And he says, Maya Sakta Mana Partha Yoga Junjan Madashraya. Asansaya Shamagramam Jathagya Tatsurun. Be attached to me, be attached to me. Maya Asakta means stay attached to me. Me means Krishna. Krishna is saying, stay attached to me. Make your mind attached to me. Maya Sakta Mana Partha. Yoga Junjan Madasraya. Yoga, stay connected and put endeavor to stay connected with me. Yoga Junjan Madasraya. Why to? To surrender to me. Because he is Saranda Vatshalya. He loves the person who surrendered to him. That's why I'm saying this is finally saying, stay surrendered to me. Aham tvam sarva papebhyo moktashyami mam sucha. And if you're staying surrender, if you're surrendering to him, then only all the papas will be going away. Otherwise, there is no way out. Hare namebhya keval. So this is how the Srimad Bhagavatam, the conclusion of Srimad Bhagavatam, what it says, tasmat, Tasmat, thus. This is the completion of the Srimad Bhagavatam, and this is the one message to the all human being. Thus, this conclusory statement. Tasmat, Sarvatmana, and this is the unanimous conclusion of everybody. Thus, this is the unanimous conclusion of everybody. Everybody means whom? All the devotees, all the acharyas, all the saints, all the rishis. And this is the conclusory statement. What happens? Hari Sarvatra Sarvada. Hari is everywhere and Sarvatra, everywhere and every moment he is there. That's why we cannot say Krishna is very merciful to Draupadi. He is not merciful to me. Krishna is very merciful to what you call Gajendra. He is not merciful to me. No, we cannot say. He is everywhere and he is for everybody. So we cannot say that means he is a discrimination. There is no discrimination. You become a Saranarthi, you become Bhakta Vatsala. You stay connected with Krishna, you'll be merciful. There is no condition there. Because it is Krishna is for everybody and everybody is his own, right? And this is what he says. Tasmat Sarvatmana Rajan Hari Sarvatra Sarvada. Now what is the activity of a human being then? What is the conclusory, what is the unanimous decision by all the saints? What is the action that human beings should perform? Tasmat Sarvatmana Rajan Hari Sarvatra Sarvada Srutabhyam. Srutabhyam means to hear the glories of the Lord. Srutabhyam. The duty of the human being is to listen the glories of the Lord. Kirtitabhyam, by chanting the name of the Lord. To glorify the Lord. First is listening. Srutabhyam, Kirtitabhyam, and Smratabhyam. All is consistently remembrance of the Lord. Consistent remembrance of the Lord. That's why if you go to Jagannath Puri, I request all of you to at least go sometimes in Jagannath Puri, and if you have already gone and might have attended the Mangala Arati, and if you listen to the Mangala Arati very carefully, there is a group of, that is the devotee, the Daitapatis. There are two gostis. One is the Pandas and the second is the Daitapatis. The Daitapatis are the ancestors of the Vishwavasu. And if you minutely observe that, all the family members of this Daitapati will be standing at the corner of the mandir in the temple sanctorium, and they will be standing at the entire family will be standing there, and they will be reciting the glories of the Lord. And this glory is nothing but the full of all the Vashalta, the mercy of the Lord he has exhibited during his. We heard something. You might have heard this particular prayer in Jagannath Puri. And please, if you have not gone, please go there. And whenever you are visiting, please attend this Mangala Arati and listen the beautiful glories of Sri Jagannath in the Mangala Arati time. And this has always been for 500, 600 years, it's been continuously been recited. Only one prayer. The prayer full of the Bhakta Vashalta of the Lord. By this family only, the Daitapatis. And what it says, Ahe Nila Shaila Prabhala Matta Bharana Maharata Nalini Kyudaku Kara Damana. That's a wonderful, and it is the glories of the Lord, how he liberated the Gajendra, how he protected Draupadi, and how he protected so many devotees. This is a glorification, long glorification. Whenever you go there, you just listen that. There is a wonderful prayer, and this is the prayer is chosen by the Lord himself, and it was composed by the devotee called Salavega. Salavega is basically one of the ardent devotee of Lord in Jagannath Puri, being a Muslim, but his composition is being chosen by Lord himself. One composition chosen by Jayadev, Gita Govinda. One song from Sankaracharya, Jagannathastakam, that we sing every Sunday in our temple. And one from Jayadev, Sita Kamala, Kucha Mandalahe, Grita Kundalahe. This is the second one. And the third one is Ahe Nila Saila Prabhala Matta Bharana from Salavega. These three are chosen by Lord, and each and every day these three prayers have been sung in Jagannath Puri, right? And this is how the bhakta, the devotees, they glorify the Lord. So this is one thing that we need to learn. So what is that? Srutabhyam, the listening the glories of the Lord consistently and developing the interest to listen. Srutabhyam. Second is Kirtitabhyam, by chanting the name of the Lord continuously, consistently. And finally, remembering Lord every moment. Every moment. Hari Sarvatra Sarvada, because He's everywhere in my life. Every moment He's in my life. Every moment He's in my family. He's every corner, nook and corner of my family. That we need to always remember Krishna in our day-to-day life. Srutabhyam, Kirtitabhyam, Smrtabhyam, Bhagavan, Nrunam. Nrunam means human being. And the glorification, and everybody we should be remembering, reciting, and also glorifying, listening His glories. This is how we should do it. So with this, we need to, because I can see the time already, 8:05. So please forgive me if I have done any kind of mistakes or any offenses comes out of my voice, or maybe from my mundane and ignorance. I beg my forgiveness. So any question or anyone would like to add any points particularly, please? Prabhuji's, Mataji's.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for the wonderful class and how nicely you stressed upon the importance of surrender. And once somebody surrenders, how Krishna immediately reciprocates and guarantees shelter. Thank you. I would request devotees to unmute themselves.
Hare Krishna, Arjun Sukha Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam. Thank you for a wonderful class, Prabhuji. It was really amazing to hear. Prabhuji, I have one doubt, Prabhuji. So,
Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, can you hear me, Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhu, I can hear you very loud and clear.
Okay, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu. Thank you very much for a very nice class. I have one doubt, Prabhuji. So, when we actually talk about Lord's renunciation, so here we see that Lord has displayed the renunciation spirit, and also you have mentioned so many other pastimes. But also we see another paradox where Lord is actually, not showing his renunciation to his pure devotees like gopis and brajvasis. He is, expressing the symptoms of separation all the time. So how to understand where he is displaying this principle of renunciation versus his strong attachment towards his pure devotees like the gopis and brajvasis, Prabhuji.
Okay. That's why Lord is called Prakatya Prakatya Lila, Prabhu. If you understand Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is described as Prakatya or Prakatya Lila. That means many Leelas that is Prakatya, that is being manifested and being they publicized for many, particularly to devotees. Non-devotees never been bothered about that, and they'll not be understanding that word. But there are certain things that is called Gupta, very, very deeply, 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 deeply secret. And that can only get manifested to whom? Get manifested to a Premi Bhakta. Those who are entering into the realm of Krishna consciousness, Krishna, then only they can understand. Like, for example, Sanatan Goswami, Rupa Goswami, Bilba Mangal Thakur, they releases this very, very clear, very close, the heart, what is running inside the heart of the Lord. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam, right? You understand the Rupa Goswami. Rupa Goswami says that Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Jaina Bhutale. He could understand what is running inside the heart of the Lord, and it can be explained. He could explain. So this is how, in order to understand that particular point, we need to come to that level, Prabhu. I have not come to that level, Prabhu. To be very frank, I cannot tell you with experience, but theoretically I can say that unless you come to that level, that you can understand the Nitya Lila of the Lord. And Nitya Lila is like going deep inside the heart of the Lord and being in that platform. That is Aprakatya Lila, which is not manifested, none disclosed. But who can get But who can get the nectar of being so closer to the Lord? Who is always satatam kirtayantuma. Bhava prem and bhav. The mahabhav, when you are in the mahabhav stage, then only we can understand or releases this gupta or guhya tattva of the Lord. And Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he says, unless Radharani is merciful, and this is the topic of Radharani. This is who is the what do you call the custodian of the secret of the topmost secret of the Lord. It is Radharani. Even Krishna's krupa will not be working Prabhu. It is the krupa of Radharani, then only you will get it. So in order to get this aprakritya lila, that we need to take the shelter of Radharani. But having said that, some of these aprakritya lila get manifested from the great ardent devotees like Bilba Mangal Thakur, like Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, particularly Raghunath Das Goswami. These are all got manifested, and you can get some hint from them, and also get some, can release some of their experience out of that. But in order to get that experience or to go to the deeper, you need to take the shelter of Radharani and get the mercy of her. And without that, you cannot do Prabhu. I hope I could answer your question, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Understand, Prabhuji. Thank you. I understand that it is difficult to understand for us. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah, but having said that, Prabhu, difficult to understand, but easier to understand when you take the shelter of Radharani. That's the point. That's a very important point.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat, Prabhu.
Prabhu, thanks for the wonderful class, Prabhu. We want to hear again and again from you. It's very nice. So, Prabhuji, one question, Prabhu. You mentioned that from when Vrajavasis were separated from Krishna, when Krishna left, spiritually they were there together, but then materially they were separated. So, how to actually that one question came up. All these leelas are supposed to be spiritual in nature completely. How to understand the nature of the leelas of the Lord? I mean, including the devotees who are closely associated with the Lord.
Right, Prabhu. And if you look at that particular, this is a wonderful question, Prabhu, and this is a deep question. Rather, this is a very deep question. And in order to understand that, you need to be, when you understand the spirituality, that you need to understand in the spiritual level only. Unless you come to that spiritual level, you cannot, and that's why it is restricted, the 10th canto, but particularly the Panchapran of Srimad Bhagavatam. Prabhupada even instructed us not to go directly to that, because we cannot understand, because we are not in that spiritual platform. So in order to be understanding the spiritual realm, or maybe the spiritual entity of that particular leelas, all the leelas of the Lord, we need to elevate ourselves in the spiritual level. That's why it is the instruction in the 2nd chapter of Bhagavad Gita that says, Raga Dvesha Vimuktesu Vishayan Indriyasaran Atma Bodha Vidhi Atma Prasadam Adhigachati. This is the spiritual understanding, the spiritual realm is the blessings of Radharani. This is the krupa, this prasadam by the devotees, prasada by Krishna and prasad by Radharani. And in order to qualify for this prasad, we need to be in that platform to follow the process of the spirituality and also follow the process of being in the spiritual platform in Atma Bodha. I understand the spiritually respect, though in this material world. If you look at the position of or the gopis particularly, the gopis, those who are living in this body, you see, when Rasalila happens, what happened? Some of the gopi could not come. But all the gopi, it is mentioned as gopis, they're staying in their house, but they're dancing with Krishna. They were restricted in the house. They're bounded by their family members. Even some of were tied by the ropes, but still they were dancing. Why so? Because their body in the physical forms is left in this house, but the body in the spiritual forms was there in the Rasalila. And that's why they say is the Tan Manaska, when you see the last verse before the Gopi Geet that begins. Srila Vyasdev written, Tanmanaskas tada lapa tad vichishtas tadatmika tad guna naiva gayantu natma garani samsmaru. They forget their physical being. They completely forget that the physical existence, because they are in the spiritual platform. They've given the complete Atma, the soul, to the Lord, and that's why they are in the level of spirituality. The forgetfulness for the material body will come when you are in the spiritual realm, when you understand that you are a spiritual being, and you need to elevate yourself and understand, Aham kya hai? I am the soul. I am the soul, part and parcel of the Lord. But the body is a facility given to me. When we understand that particular aspect, the spiritual aspect of my being, then only I'll understand this metal body is just a facilities. The environment is a facilities. The house that I'm staying is a facilities, right? But who am I? I am the eternal, the energy, eternal source, eternal, the part and parcel of the Lord. And this is the real entity of mine. And that's why Rishabh Dev is also mentioning, please come out of this metal thoughts and go up and stay yourself. And you are who? You are a spiritual being. And when you understand this, the lila will be understood. The lila can be releases in the spiritual platform. And that's why Rishabh Dev, we must understand the message of Rishabh Dev. Nayam deha dehanubhaja nirloke kastan kama na arashi bidvujam. Tapo divyam putraka jena saddheta satta. This particular word, suddheta satta. Sattva is my real position, that I am a spiritual being. I'm a part and parcel, eternal part and parcel of the Lord. I'm the spiritual energy of the Lord. This is the reality that we have. And when we are establishing ourselves in that particular point, the spiritual point, then only we can easily and understand and releases the spiritual nectar of the Leelas of the Lord. Thank you very much, Prabhu. This is a very deep question, but I think I might not have justified your question, Prabhu, because the question was very deep, Prabhu. I appreciate that question.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, I will also get in touch with you. We'll discuss a little more. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat pranams. Thank you for the very wonderful class and giving so much of deep thoughts into this. Prabhu, I just had the question I had was, you talked about the Pavarga. So one of the things which comes is fear, right? So in fear, I'm talking about even while rendering service. Is it good to have an element of fear so that you don't become very casual about it in the service? Or will that also be not construed as, yes, you want to do out of love, but the fear always keeps a check on us. So is that good, or that also will be in a material platform?
Yes, Prabhu. This is a wonderful point, Prabhu. And fear is definitely a factor favorable to us. Without fear of Guru Maharaj, you cannot serve him properly. Otherwise, you will become casual. Without fear of following the rituals and following the process, if you are fearful that we will be doing our own manna. And the worst part is that our mind is so chanchala, our mind is so flickering, that if you give him liberty, that it will take not more than maybe a fraction to take you away from the core path. But is very essential, but at the limited level. But fear for what? Fear, the biggest fear for a devotee is, if you look at the discussion between Raya Ramanand and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Raya Ramanand says, what is the biggest fear? The fear of losing devotees should be there. It should be there. Oh, I should not be so casual in my life that I will do aparad. I should not be casual in my life so that I will not do any kind of Vaishnava aparad. I should not do any kind of dham aparad. I should not do any kind of, that means your deity aparad. This should always be there in the mind, Prabhu, so that it will not be casual. And that is, even for example, Krishna says attachment is also good. But attachment for Krishna, fear is good. Fear for losing devotees, fear for losing away from being disconnected from Krishna. This should be there, and that drives us. Without that, we will be lackadaisical, or maybe we can be very casual in our approach, and that we will not be serious in our approach.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. And now thank you very much for everyone for giving me this opportunity and listening this Krishna Katha, such a wonderful this blessings that we got from Srila Prabhupada. And thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. We'll end the session with the Vaishnava pranams. Vanchakalpati.
Patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo.
Vaishnava Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you all. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.